Now, the last thing to add to the gradebook exercise is the letter grade. And for the letter grade, we will apply the grading criteria you see on the right, and we are simplified. I'm not going into C plus, B minus, B plus, A minus. Let's simplify the grading for the moment, because this time you learn how to do something which would require not just one if, but a set of ifs. It's called nested ifs. Say you have 84 for student Ed Albergioni, and we had to set a grade. So the reasoning that the computer would do is 84 above 90? If 84 above 90, then A. Else, if 84 above 80, then B. Okay, stop. But if it's a 77, the set of ifs would be at least 3. If above 90, A. If above 80, B. If above 79, C, and then stop to C. This is called a set of nested ifs, which I will show you in the next couple of slides. But this is not what I want to teach you now, because the human reasoning is not going by if. That was good when we had to evaluate the homework. Then we only had one condition to evaluate, and so if it's good, then we add 5 or 3. Else we don't. That was the good place to write a single if. But in this case, what we do when we have to assign a letter grade to the student, we don't go above 90, above 80. No. We see 84 and we try to locate 84 where it belongs in this table, obviously between 80 and 90. And that means it's a B. The function that does this is the Vlookup function. We shall have a look at that in a moment. There is a function that takes one number, compares it with a table, and locates the position of this number on the table and assigns the letter grade correspondingly. We learned about the if function in last presentation, 3.1c, where we had to evaluate whether or not to add bonus points for the homework. If the homework was good, we added 3 points to the test averages to finalize a semester average for the student. If not, we did not. So this was done by a simple if function. In the next case, we now have to add the letter grade to the student. It can be done with the if function. The strategy is if semester average is above 90, then A. Else, if semester average is above 80, is B. Else, if blah, blah, blah. So that will be a sequence of ifs, so-called nested ifs. I don't even want to show them to you. It's unnecessary. Whenever you have more than a couple of choices, you should use something else. The Vlookup function. Vlookup function, like if, is an extremely powerful function. A VIP function, very important, VIF actually. Well, no, let's call it a very important function. And the next slides are about that. So how is the Vlookup function working? First of all, it checks what we want to look up. The semester average, number 84, let's say in this case. That's what we want to check. And then we look up this 84 against the grading criteria, finding that it's between 80 and 90. Then the Vlookup function, looking up at that table, notice that to 80 and until 90 corresponds the letter grade B, and then returns to the cell where the Vlookup function is the value B. So this is exactly what we would do with our human brain. Look at 84 and check in the table it's between where 80 and 90, so it's a B. That's exactly what the Vlookup function does. In the next slide we will understand the argument to write in the Vlookup function, of course. That's what we're talking about, the Vlookup function. Yes, it's a Vlookup. So when you open Vlookup function, a menu appears where you can make your selections. You can click and point to the argument of the Vlookup function. The first one, it's called the lookup value. It's number 84 for us. I mean, it's H3. I mean, it's the semester average, what we want to compare to the table. Look up what, like if what. We want this value to be compared to what? To a table. The second argument is the table array. In this case, you select not just a cell, but select the entire table from 0 to A, the two columns together. The next thing is, this is a bit tricky because it seems too easy. Call index num is the number of the column of the table that you then want the function to return. In this case, we have two columns in this table, the columns with the numbers and the columns with the letters. What we want, what we are using the Vlookup for, is get the letter. We give the number to the table and then we want to get the letter. And so, since the letters are the second column, the call index number value will just be number 2, and you have to write 2. Let's see how do we compile this formula in the next screen recording. Now follow me when I do on this I3 cell the whole process that is down there represented with the complete menu system. So first thing, Vlookup. Then first operand now is the lookup value. Remember, the lookup value is this number here. So I click on 84. We are actually going to check this 84 against the table that's on the right. So comma and then the table array, this value here. The table array is the table without the heading, only the numbers and the letters. No titles, no labels, nothing else. Plus, this must be in an increasing order, from 0 to whatever. Table array is this one. Next, the weird call index num. Call index num is this table as one column and two columns, and what we want to return in this field is now the cell we are working on, we want to return the letter. In which column of the table the letter is? The first column or the second column? It's yes, the second column. And so here we have to write 2 as for second columns. Then we close the parentheses, and here we have, wow, the value. One more thing we have to do now is have to make the table absolute referenced, otherwise when we shift the formula down, this will also shift down the table area, and we don't want that. Having written this, we can drag down and have all the values and the formula is written here. I now repeat the operation again. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. In the place where I want to apply the formula, everything starts with an equal sign. Vlookup tab opens the formula. Lookup value, tab what? I mean, look up what? Look up the semester average. It's the semester average that we want to check where his values is collocated inside this table. And so, comma, now the table array, the table against which 84 is to be checked. This table must be in absolute reference because it will stay the same. $J, $3, $K, $7, comma, the number of the column that we want the VLOOKUP function to return. We want the numbers or the letters? We want the letters. We have the numbers already. We start from the numbers to go to the letters. See here? Easy. So letters are in the second column, and then we need 2 here, because this is the second column, this one. It is necessary to write this 2 because we may have tables with 3, 4, or more columns. Perhaps we may see an example later on. So we are starting with the VLOOKUP with a very simple table with just 5 rows and 2 columns to understand how it works. Closing the parentheses there. Repeat the operation for the whole column. Easy, is it? Very easy. I mean, it may look a bit strange the first time you meet him, but then Mr. VLOOKUP function, Mrs. VLOOKUP function, it's a function. Lady VLOOKUP function, it's a very, very powerful tool, because on this side we might have the discount rates, the percentages of interest, whatever you have here. You may check a list of menus against their price, a lot of things. This is the documentation for the VLOOKUP function. The lookup value, the table array, the call index. This is the menu that opens when you do not write immediately the function, but you choose the function from a menu. I'm going to do that next.